Pumpernickel.
Today we dive into rumors on Sony's new handheld and possibly a Bloodborne remaster. We also talk about how running our trading shard card. All this and more. This is Nerds with Mikes. Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerds with Mikes, where this is off the rails. I'm Travis.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Justin. And that was take 2. And that's the one you get. So,
Oh man.
Yeah, it was really the pumpernickel right out the gate that got me. I was so focused until you...
I tried to say it before we actually started to throw you off.
Pumpernickel.
Pumpernickel.
So let's go ahead. So yeah, today we're going to talk about rumors of Sony's possible new handheld. Fans are getting excited about a Bloodborne remaster, possibly. And we're also going to talk about how running our trading card shop is going. And we have some topics and a mystery question of the week. We have a jam-packed show. But yes, this is
off to a great start.
Yeah, this is Pumpernickel.
Pumpernickel. If you don't know what we're talking about, look up the Muffins video. In fact, that's my pick of the week.
Just gonna spoiler
alert.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we have a jam-packed show, and Justin's already tired, so let's go ahead and get started. But before we do that, we always like to talk about what we've been up to, and I think we've all had I think Justin's had a fairly chill week. Jared and I have had a fairly busy week. But what have you boys been up to? Justin, we'll start with you. We'll start with the good.
Well, we had Thanksgiving last week, and I ate a lot, and it was really good. I'm still playing Last of Us Part 2. As you know, that game is like double the size of the first game, and I don't have as much free time now that Thanksgiving break is over, so it's a little bit slower, although I am about 6 or 7 hours in. Started a Severance rewatch to get ready for season 2 in January. If you haven't watched Severance, you need to be. It's probably the best show we've had come out in a while. I watched Transformers 1 with my son. He's really into Transformers right now. It was fun. Good movie. Enjoyed it. Played Dawn Trail, the 7.1 patch, finally. Someone that we play with and we run through with, she was in Japan, so we waited on her to get back, and now we knocked it out. That dungeon, Travis, have you played it yet?
No, I've done the raid, but I haven't done any story content yet.
First of all, the 7.1 stuff, some of the best post-expansion content they've released yet, in my opinion. And the dungeon is insane. Highly recommend it.
Without any spoilers, just a yes or no. Does Wook Lamont make a return?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Because she wasn't in the raid at all, so I was just curious.
Yeah, she's part of the story. And it's good. It's a very good. It has me super pumped for the next one. Like as soon as it was over and it was like to be continued, I was like, oh man, I need more. And then I've been playing Trading Card Shop Simulator.
Yeah, you have.
Up on your recommendation, and boy, that takes up a lot of space in my brain. I just want to play it.
Thinking about it when you're not playing.
I am. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could just run the shop.
What's the shop doing without you right now, Justin? It's falling apart,
frozen.
Dude.
Without me, they're all dead. It's just
it would be cool if there was an option like Animal Crossing where they continue, like if you have somebody that works for you, it continues to go when you're not there, and then you have to come back in the next day and deal with all the mishaps.
Like, hey, Freddie, I'm off today. I gotta go work at my real job. But man, that game is fun. I did try to install the Pokemon mod, and what didn't work for me, which I know the mod got nuked. So I was downloading it from another source. I'm not going to say where because I don't want Nintendo to find them or me. But I couldn't get it to install properly. So I'm just using the stock, just the way it came, which is still fine. I just have no emotional attachment to those characters on the cards, but whatever.
Have you pulled your first big card yet, Justin?
Define big card.
What's the highest dollar amount of cards you've pulled so far?
Mine's been $3,000.
Oh no, I pulled a couple 700s, but and I've bought a couple cards at like 400 that I turned around and sold for like 6 or more. It's just fun. It's just fun. Cracking packs, man. Just pure dopamine hit. And honestly, I love stocking the shelves. I hated doing it when I worked retail, but it's a video game. It's awesome.
The thing is, opening those packs too, it's a perfect pack tear every time. You
All
never
I'm
get that in real
saying-
life. Just perfect tear.
So all I'm saying is I haven't really had anything pull in that makes me want to buy a new MetaQuest, but I'm telling you, if that game dropped in MetaQuest, I would be there.
I didn't even think about that, but that's a great point.
I would be doing this.
There used to be a program where you could turn non-VR games into VR. And it was hit or miss. I know like GTA and Skyrim before it was officially released worked really well. I wonder if this would work really well.
I don't know.
Time will tell. That's all for me, I think. Jared,
How's
what about you?
Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was good. I told you that at the beginning. I ate.
Oh,
You did say that.
Yeah.
oh, my bad.
Pumpernickel. Jared. No, sorry. What, Travis?
I was just gonna ask, what was your favorite thing to eat on Thanksgiving?
Oh, the turkey. Oh, we did have a mishap in the kitchen.
Did you
Where
drop
I
the
tell.
turkey?
No, I flooded the kitchen with butter.
Oh, out the turkey?
Hold on, go ahead.
So my wife makes 2 turkeys, one for her family's house and one for our house. And we're working on her family's house, and her grandmother sent this like aluminum thing to bake it in. I don't know the terms. I'm not like a kitchen guy, you know. But it's like this big aluminum pan thing.
Tray, yeah.
Tray. It's not very fancy. The way you said it. But anyway, we are making the turkey in that.
Look at
and-
He's over here
I know.
talking about an aluminum tray. Yeah, not that fancy, but okay.
No, but it wasn't. Something was off during the cooking process. And my wife was worried, and I was like, I don't know. You know, this is just the rough draft Thanksgiving anyway. It's the one later at our house. That's the one that we really
They can
gotta
have a
focus on.
shitty turkey. It's fine.
But I get the bright idea. I'm just gonna carve the turkey, and we're gonna whenever we try to get out of the oven where it was so flimsy, the butter that had melted was starting to like ooze off the sides. And I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Hate when that happens.
So it's like, I'm going to carve the turkey. We're going to transfer it to like a serving plate. We'll cover it. We'll take it that way. And I'm carving the turkey, and I
You
puncture.
poked a hole. Yep.
I poked
there it
a
is.
hole in the aluminum thing, and just butter is like.
And
this-
it went Paula Deen everywhere.
It did. So
That's what happens if Paula Deen would fall and break her leg. Butter go everywhere.
oh, gross. But yeah, it was. I don't like messes. So I've been which I don't think many people are like, oh, a good mess. But I was like really bothered by this happening in my house on the holiest of days, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So but it all worked out. Both turkeys were great.
Great. What about you, Jared?
I mean, you kind of alluded to it earlier, Travis, but Justin probably had the easiest week out of both of us. Definitely had some fun
Slept
time
in every day, played video games all night. It was awesome.
Justin, what's your address? I just need to send you something.
Don't worry about it.
The box of dicks.
Other than that, like Thanksgiving, like Justin said, obviously had a great time with that. Got to spend some time with my family, see some family that I don't necessarily get to see as much as I would like to, eat some good food. My wife and I went and already saw Christmas lights, at least one set of Christmas lights so far. And then other than that, like her and I got to act. She works what I would consider a normal schedule. She gets off Friday, Saturdays. I do not because of my career field. Her and I actually had a day off together today, so that's why I couldn't start at 6 o'clock when you all wanted to start, but we were in Charleston. We went to a place we went out to dinner with her sister's fiance, and her little sister. Went to a place called the Eclectics Goods Market, which is basically just like a little flea market that has a bunch of antiques and stuff, so she picked up some stuff for the house, and I kind of just walked around looking for stuff, but didn't really find anything for me, but she got some stuff, so that's fine. But Travis, if you're going to ask me what my favorite food was, dressing. By far, dressing.
So, you and I have a mutual friend. Oh yeah, sorry.
I forgot it does that.
Yeah, you and I have a mutual friend by the name of Justin. Not this Justin, but other Justin. And he told me, I don't know if I shared this last podcast, but he said his least favorite side dish is stuffing.
What?
He said he can't even smell it. Like it makes him sick. I don't understand that. It's just bread.
I wonder if it's one of those things like maybe he ate too much of it when he was younger and just has like an aversion to it now.
Well, all I'm gonna say is I had some of the best stuffing of my life this week, and I've never had stuffing that had chicken in it, and it knocked my dick off. It was so good. It was so good, for a lack of better words. I hope nobody that I know listens to this, but anyways, it was so good.
Exclusively, it's people that we know.
Pretty much,
Right.
Yeah, but no, I had yeah. So my week was good. Obviously, the day after Thanksgiving was a little hectic based on the career path that I am currently on. But Thanksgiving was good. When I went home to West Virginia, my mom was nice enough to have like an early Thanksgiving when I was home at the beginning of November. And then this last week, I was able to have Thanksgiving with my girlfriend and her parents. And it was a great time. I had my first hand at making, we had our first hand at making deviled eggs, which I love deviled eggs. I don't know if you all like deviled eggs or not. Justin, he doesn't like deviled eggs.
I love eggs, but not deviled eggs.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm also allergic to eggs, so.
Based off what you just said, I'm so confused.
I love eggs. I love shrimp too, but I can't eat that. I do.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. So game wise, I've been playing Trading Card Simulator. I also dove back in because I've taken a stint away from Dragon Age.
A hiatus, if you will.
A hiatus. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. I dove back into Dragon Age, and then also. I was working on Friday with a coworker of mine by the name of Alex, and he got me to download the Pokemon trading card game. And boy, isn't that fun! You get kind of the same itch or scratch that you itch when you open up those cards. Yeah, he's confused. I said it backwards. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, but that's been pretty fun. I haven't felt like it's pay to win. I don't feel like I have to spend money on that game, which is kind of nice. I was really worried that I would not spend money, but that it would feel that way. And then also I've been still watching Bob's Burgers. I mean, there's like 15 seasons of that show. I think I'm on season 13. So I'm finally making my way. And then
Travis is like, I didn't feel like I had to spend money. I only spent $400 to rip some packs, baby.
And then one thing Justin failed to mention is last week's episode of Shrinking. It was deep. It was heavy. It was both of those things.
Yeah.
It was. I'm curious to see how this season finishes out. We get new episodes on Tuesday or Wednesday, Justin?
Tuesday, tonight.
Oh, is it tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. That makes me excited because I thought it was Wednesday, because I think we get also Silo as well. But anyways, yeah, so enough about our weeks. I'm going to go ahead and cover some recent news. And then Justin, I think we'll probably start with your topic since I'm going to be covering some news. Does anybody have anything to share before we move on to some recent news? Or are you guys good?
I was trying to use the new phone mirroring feature here to share my phone screen and show you this sweet card I got earlier.
I don't think it's going to work, is it?
It's not working. Well, it says iPhone is in use. Well, yeah, that I know it is. Like
Are you using your iPhone as your camera?
No, it's right here. So
okay. Well,
it's just weird. Glitched. But I got a Pikachu card that actually had like a sweet like movie with it, like a little video.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You hold in, it pushes inside the card. That's dope. Yeah. Justin, are you a Pokemon by chance? Because I would like to take a Pikachu. See what I did there? Take a Pikachu.
Anyway, Travis, why don't you get started on this news?
Yeah. I was waiting for somebody to play crickets, but that's fine. Anyways, yeah. So
we don't have crickets on the soundboard. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. A couple of pieces of Sony news. I don't like giving Sony a ton of airtime here, but
why not?
Because Sony is Sony, and they're just out here doing Sony things. Although, did you see today? I don't know if it's limited time today or tomorrow. They just added 4 different themes for your PlayStation, and each one is a version of the PlayStation. Yeah. So you can have the boot up from the OG, the boot up from PS2, PS3, PS4, and it even changes your menu to look like the retro consoles as well.
I hope they never get rid of that.
And it's free to download, so make sure that you download before it goes away. But anyways, with that being said, there's some rumors that Sony is expected to be working on another handheld. This handheld being something that can play PS5 games on the go, something more similar to what we would call a PSP or a PS Vita. Something that doesn't require just cloud streaming. Although this is obviously still years away. With things like the Switch 2 obviously coming out, it's more of a hybrid form factor. And then also Microsoft is supposedly being rumored to also be working on a handheld. It looks like the next consoles that we're going to get is probably going to be some handhelds. So is this anything that piques your interest? Would you all get a Microsoft or a Sony handheld, or are you just going to stick to consoles? Justin, I know you've tried to do some handheld gaming a few times and have reverted back to not doing that. So I didn't know what's your all's take on this.
If I traveled more, probably, but 99% of the time, if I'm traveling, it's for vacation, not for like work, where I'm gonna have a bit of downtime at night or anything like that. Like if I'm on vacation, I want to be there to just be on vacation and enjoy where I'm at. So I mean, I've thought about getting a handheld just for the seldom times I do have to take a trip for work, but I don't unless I have to start traveling more. I just don't think it's gonna be in the cards for me.
If I was gonna get one, I mean, it'd probably be the Sony version. I mean, I don't know what that looks like yet, but I'm more in the Sony ecosystem now, and that's just kind of where I'm at. And I love the PSP and the PS Vita. I thought they both had pretty decent games, and just pretty solid performance all around. So that would likely be where I would go. Although we don't know what a Microsoft one looks like. If the Microsoft one has an interface that's as easy to navigate as like the Steam Deck, but also has Windows functionality, where I can install whatever I want. I mean, that could be a game changer. I know like the Steam Deck is trying to implement dual booting at some point, like official dual booting. I think you can do it unofficially now, but that's been a hindrance of the Steam Deck, is that you're so confined to the Steam ecosystem. You can't install Game Pass games. You can't install non-Steam games easily anyway. So I don't know. It just depends on what these look like, but just based on this very limited information, I would most likely go with PlayStation if I was going to go with one.
Yeah, I think Sony would go the route of not having any form of Windows. It's their own ecosystem. Yeah. But Microsoft, I think if Microsoft can nail, and this is Microsoft as a whole, not just Microsoft Game Studios, but if they can, to your point, if they can nail a version of Windows that's ideal for handheld, that helps increase battery life, and it's a lot less resource intensive, I think that could be a big deal, honestly. So, all right. The other piece of news is based on obviously the 30th anniversary. There is a clip. There's a clip basically that's been played to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the PlayStation, and during that, it ends on some gameplay from Bloodborne with a phrase, "It's about persistent." And what they mean by that is obviously people have been very adamant about wanting Sony to bring either re-release a new version of Bloodborne in regards of like a remake or a remaster, but port that to PC. That's been the biggest thing that fans have wanted, is for them to port that to PC. Because some people, this is regarded as one of the best Souls-like games by some people. I think I love Bloodborne. It's a little bit more faster paced than some of the Souls games that I played, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's got more of like a goth horror type film or like feel to me. But so who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I think there might be rumors of a. Do they have an event coming up? Does Sony have an event coming up? I think
it's rumored that they're going to have one here in the next week. Or so.
Yeah. And if that's the case, this might show up. I would love to see some more news on GTA 6 at that event, but I don't think that'll probably happen either.
It's been a year since the GTA 6 trailer came out. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's right. It came around right around the time of the Video Game Awards, right?
Yeah, I felt like it was this year that we got it. It wasn't a year ago. That's crazy.
It is crazy. But yeah, so that's the only bit of news that I had. Justin, let's go ahead and get into your topic.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and get it adjusted, so we know it's gonna piss both of us off. So,
yeah.
And I don't think he's played this game, so this is why he can't even.
I have.
Oh, have you?
So I also want to say that that trailer, the 30th anniversary trailer that Sony released, it showed Killzone, showed Resistance, did not show any SOCOM. The game that literally ushered in online multiplayer gaming to consoles.
On PS2,
Once
right?
again, PS2 and voice chat, because each game came with a headset. Once again, forgotten
And proximity
by Sony.
voice chat too, right?
I can't remember if there's prox chat or not. Maybe.
Mm.
So don't know what Sony is thinking by leaving this cornerstone franchise off their 30th anniversary. But
Are there any SOCOM games like on PC without having to emulate or anything like that?
there's multiple ripoffs and like people
Any
trying to
decent
make
ones?
SOCOM games.
That's what
Yeah,
I-
they've all been somewhat decent. They just can't. It's just they've struggled to find a player base because I feel like the bulk of this community is still very much in a console.
Now
world and
Zipper
not a PC
Interactive or whatever, they're no longer, right?
Oh yeah, they're gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be a fun topic to discuss. So I was talking with my friends, and
Not us.
not you guys, different friends, and we're
His
just
real
kind of
friends.
wondering. We're just kind of wondering, what the heck is Black Myth Wukong doing, being nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards? And when I first heard that, I thought, well, it's a great game. I mean, it got good reviews, sold 1 billion copies, blah, blah, blah. But then I did some digging. And my question that I'm going to ask you at the end of this conversation, at the end of this lecture, should I say, is going to be, does this game deserve to be in the Game of the Year discussion? So I do want to note this is not a discussion about if expansion packs, DLCs,
Oh, we're gonna talk about that
remakes.
too. No,
This
no,
is not about that. This is not about that. This is
I don't
strictly
think we can
quality.
talk about one without talking about the other, but go on.
Yeah, we're not
This
gonna
is
let you off the hook.
This is strictly based on the facts. Okay. So
I like how he says that, knowing that Rebirth is in there, and then also Elden
Rebirth is
Ring
an
in there.
entirely new game. You can't, if anything, it's Erd Tree that we can talk about, but Rebirth is
What?
100
Hold on, real quick. What Final Fantasy are we on? Like, if you go back to the most recent, what are we on?
16.
Oh, so
16.
we're on 16, and Final Fantasy 7's on there.
7.
Okay.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
Jared, no,
It's
I know
okay.
for a fact you have 0.7 hours on 16, and that's all you have on a Final Fantasy game.
I'm just saying though, like if we're going by
No, Final Fantasy. Okay, Final Fantasy 7 from 1997 is like 27 hours long. Rebirth by itself, which is just the middle chunk of that game, is like 50 hours. So it's a different game.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Anyway, all right. So here are the Game of the Year nominees at the Game Awards. We have Astrobot that has a 95 Open Critic score, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, which has a 94, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which has a 93, Metaphor Refantasio, which has a 93, Balatro, which has a 91, and Black Myth Wukong, which has an 82. It was at 81. It just went up. And it got me thinking, and I found this awesome Reddit thread that Silvery Death posted a year ago.
That
where
sounds
he
reliable.
on Reddit. He just examined the Open Critic scores of every single Game of the Year nominees, the Game of the Awards for the last decade. So if you go back the last decade, the lowest scoring games, nothing goes lower than Black Myth Wukong. The closest would be Control and Death Stranding in 2009. They both had 83s. The winner was Sekiro with a 90. Also, Outer Worlds that year had an 83. This year overall was just kind of relatively low. Nothing is as low as an 82 in the last decade for Game of the Year nominees. So that is already an outlier. Okay. But then I did even more digging. I went through every game released this year. And these are just like the games I felt like actually had a chance of being nominated. We have Destiny 2, The Final Shape at 91, Tekken 8 at 90, Hades 2 at 90, Early Access, so maybe not, The Last of Us 2 Remastered at 90, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth at 90, Animal Well 89, Shin Megami Tensei 5 89, Persona 3 Reload 87, Silent Hill 2 87, Dragon's Dogma 2 87, Prince of Persia The Lost Crown 87, Frostpunk 2 85, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom 85, Who's deleting stuff? Stop deleting stuff, Jared. World of Warcraft, The War Within, 85. Okay. 98 at the bottom of the list. Batman Arkham Shadow, 84. Diablo 4 Vessels of Hatred, 83. Black Ops 6, 83. Stellar Blade, 82. And Jared wants me to point out that his wiener has a 69. So,
Wow.
I had to go back 6 pages to find Black Myth Wukong on just this year of the games that came out. On top of that, I listed 18 games just now above that. There are 6 nominees for Game of the Year. That means I gave you 3 more sets of Game of the Year nominees before I got to Black Myth Wukong. So I ask you, is Black Myth Wukong, does it deserve to be in the Game of the Year conversation?
Before we get into this conversation, I got a question.
Yes.
What do you have against Black Myth Wukong?
I have nothing against Black Myth Wukong.
I
actually
find that
like
hard
it.
to believe because you went in on this. How much time
also
did you
Destiny,
devote to make
Destiny's
this?
an expansion, by the way. It's
So
not
is
a full-
Urtree.
I understand that, but you can't use that as an example. But what I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite game? What's your favorite game you've played this year?
Rebirth.
Okay. What's your second favorite game you played this year?
Out of this
you
list,
told
out of
me, and I
everything?
quote, you told me, and I quote, when you were playing Star Wars Outlaw, this is my favorite game I played this year.
I said it's my favorite game I've played this year, but I did not. I specifically said it's not Game of the Year.
Okay. All right.
Because it's not the best game this year. It was just my favorite. It brought back that 70s, early 80s Star Wars.
So let's talk about sales of this games and not talk about ratings.
Okay. Is that how we judge Oscars and stuff too?
Okay. Well, let me ask you. So how many times and I know that you're guilty of this.
Okay.
How many times have I dropped a Rotten Tomato score and you're like, I don't trust that. I go by the user one. Or even when I said Joker was not good, you were like, oh, I don't trust that. I don't trust that.
I didn't trust it. I just said I thought that it's possible.
All I'm going to say is if I go to Open Critic Score and I look at player rating, it's a 90. It's a 90.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. And let's talk about
sort that for all games.
I don't know. All I'm going to tell you
or not.
On August 25th, more than 37 million people logged on to Steam, which is now the highest rated that they've had concurrent players on a game, where it was held by 33.7 million in January of 2024.
There's an explanation for that, though.
What's that?
The game is developed in China, and it literally has the entire country.
People from China is not important?
They are. I didn't say that, did I not? I'm just saying that the scales are a little tilted for that game because it came from there, and they are very proud of it. As they should be. It's a good game, not a great game.
How much of it have you played?
Not a lot.
I have another question.
Did you beat Rebirth? Did you play all of it?
Yeah.
Have you only played Black Myth on PlayStation?
No, PC. Only PC. I don't have it on PlayStation.
Hey, why don't you go ahead, Jared, while I'm talking, and look up on Steam and see how much playtime he has on.
Yeah, give me just a moment here. Let me take a look.
I'm about to get exposed. It's probably under an hour. It was fine. It was fine. No, listen, it was fine. It was fine. It was fine. I thought visually it was very impressive. And you got to keep in mind, this isn't I think it's a good game. I don't think it's Game of the Year material. And that's based on the data that I found here. See, now you're attacking my character because you disagree with my opinion. I'm bringing you facts.
I'm just really quick,
Who
Justin.
has more time? Me on Black Myth Wukong or you on Final Fantasy 16?
Well, Justin, that would be me from what I'm looking at here because according to this, you have no time logged in that game.
Oh. Well, no, I've played the game. I played it last weekend.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4 friends who have played. Travis is one of them.
How many hours I got? What's that say?
You were at 41 and a half, Travis.
Oh, that's interesting. That's so strange.
Hang on. No, I know you've played more of it than me. Hang on a second. I'm going to see if I can find how many hours I have on this game.
Oh, my God.
Not hour, I should say.
I do think, though, that the more telling conversation is, are you upset that so let me ask you, with Black Myth being in this list, do you feel like there's another game that should be in its place?
100%, and that's Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. That game,
and you would replace Black Myth over the other ones that were on that list?
I would. So actually, I'll be honest with you. If I was redoing this list, I would take Balatro off as well. I think Balatro is amazing, and I've put a ton of time into that game, especially this last week. It's super addictive. If you haven't played it, this is a huge endorsement. Go play that game. That being said, I don't think it's Game of the Year material either. It just has a 91 to back it up. I would replace those two games with Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and probably. If it's my personal pick, probably Silent Hill 2. If it's the critics' pick, probably Dragon's Dogma 2.
Silent Hill 2 that was ridden full of bugs?
Yeah, Travis. It has an 87, which is 5 points higher than what Black Myth has.
So you're just going solely off score.
Kinda, yeah.
Let me ask you, how does the Oscars figure out winners? There's a panel of people, right?
So on Metacritic, Black Myth Wukong has an 81 and an 8.3 user score. Okay. So I'm going here. It has an 86 Metacritic score, 9.2 fan score.
Okay, interesting.
So Silent Hill 2 could beat out Black Myth Wukong right now, just based on those numbers.
Wow. Well, all I'm saying is for somebody that has put 40 hours in it.
Yes,
I think
agree. Then fine. I think that's a fair point for you to have. Have you played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth?
No, but it was on my list to play. I do want to.
It's really good. We have it on PC.
I heard it's absurd. Like
it does
the
not
over
have
the top
ultra wide support.
That's okay. I'm fine.
It's not okay. It's 2024, man. Every game should have ultra wide support.
So you're saying just based on score alone, it does not deserve a spot?
Yes. Well, historically speaking, these have for the most part been picked by score. It seems like.
Okay.
I've got 10 years, and I put the link in there if you all want to look at it. Yes, Jared.
So, Balatro was the other game you were talking about that you put a lot of time into, right?
Yeah, hours. Yeah, on my phone, not on Steam. I don't have it on Steam.
Okay. I was just going to say, because I did pull up your profile on Steam, a whopping 26 total minutes played on Balatro on Steam.
Boom. On my phone. Apple Arcade, baby.
And let me just get real close to the mic here to say this.
Oh, that
ready?
Reflection.
Okay.
That reflection.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, say it real loud.
17 minutes in Black Myth. You set
fact
up
that you
your
even came at this
settings.
conversation.
You set up your graphic settings is what you've done. I tell you what's wrong with
that. Was
this.
about enough time for your shaders to load.
No. I've done the intro part where you fight.
And let's also state the fact that Justin is, I would say, 75% console gamer versus a PC gamer.
Yeah, I am. I probably more than 75.
I think you're just scared that Final Fantasy is going to lose out to Black Myth.
It's not going to lose to Black Myth. There's no way.
Dude, I hope.
Mark that down. And if it does, then I've lost all respect for Jeff.
32-42. It's when it was said.
32-42. There's no way. I don't necessarily know if Rebirth is going to win. I think
it's going to be Elden Ring or Astrobot. Personally,
I think it's going to be Elden Ring.
I as much as I want it to be Black Myth, I think it's going to be Elden Ring.
Wait, you want it to be Black Myth Wukong, Jared?
Yes,
because he, unlike you, actually played it.
Me, unlike you, have played Rebirth.
I've put 20 hours in Rebirth.
Oh, it says here 12 minutes. I'm just kidding.
Do I need to be the fact checker today? Is that what's happening? They pulled up.
Is Rebirth?
Boot up your PlayStation. Let's see
Rebirth. There's the second one, right?
Yes. We say reboot, but yes, Rebirth.
No, Rebirth.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't play the second one because I didn't finish the first one.
Oh, and see, like you said, we couldn't bring up like the conversation around DLC and stuff.
That just wasn't what this was about because they've already broken that by having Shadow of the Erdtree.
Right, and that's what I want to say is I personally don't think that.
Oh, I don't either.
Yeah,
all I'm saying, Dawn Trail should have been in there before Destiny. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dawn Trail has a pretty low Open Critic score.
But did you not? Do you not also think it was the best expansion they've done?
No. It's like not even close.
Real quick, when are the Game Awards?
I think 7.1 is really good, but overall, I think Shadowbringers and Endwalker are way better than Dawn Trail.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go kick rocks.
When are the Game Awards, by the way, real quick?
Next week, I think.
Do you know what day? Because I'm just setting a reminder on my phone to call and make fun of you.
Oh, you know what we should do?
Dude,
depending on the night, we should live stream it and all be on here with reaction.
The 12th at 7. I don't know what day the 12th is. Do you know?
12th is, please don't be.
Probably a Friday or Saturday. It'd be
It's,
nice if it was a Sunday.
It's
but I don't
usually a
think
weekday.
I wish it was a.
it's a Thursday, so
What time does it start?
did you say 7, Justin?
7 or 7:30. Sorry, I was reading
Okay.
the other Game of the Year nominees.
All right. Well, yeah, that was a hot topic and a hot take, but I think
I
you're
knew
wrong.
as soon as I came up with that, I was like, oh, it's going to make Travis so mad, and I can't wait.
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, since you were talking to your quote unquote friends,
Yeah.
what did they think?
Connor thinks it's good, although it's hard to tell when Connor's trolling or not. I know he's put a lot of time into it. Greg is repulsed by the idea of it being nominated.
I don't know, Greg, but I hate Greg.
He listens, so he's going to hear that.
Your old Greg. Pump a nickel.
The fact that there's never been a Game of the Year nominee that lowly rated is, I just have to just any chance it wins.
Here's the problem. Here's the issue I think with the ratings is it did not perform well on PS5 and PS. Well, I think just PS5. It was plagued with a lot of performance issues. I think if it would have been just a PC release, I think that review score would have been higher, personally.
Rebirth score is 92 Metacritic, sorry, not OpenCritic, and 9.0 fan. So it has a higher Metacritic score than both games. It came in second behind Silent Hill for the fan score, but blew Black Myth Wukong out of the water. So
I don't normally say this, Justin, but you're wrong. And Greg,
Okay.
You're wrong. And Connor, I don't know if you're wrong or not, but
everybody just shoot us an email. We'll now be taking applications for a new co-host.
I would love for you to comment on the video below on YouTube or on social media, and I would love for you to let us know if you think Black Myth deserves a spot in Game of the Year conversation.
Yeah, please do.
So,
and the what part that gets me is you didn't even say, does it deserve Game of the Year? You said, does it deserve to be in the discussion? Absolutely it does.
I don't think it does. I listed 18 games with higher review scores.
Now, you listed 16 games and 2 DLCs, but
there's a DLC that's up in the nominees, so I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that open.
What I've learned from this conversation is, I guess games that come out of China should just automatically be wrote off.
That's not what I'm saying.
To Justin,
games that
because
come out
of the
of China
population.
and have a score high enough. It has a score high enough as these other games should be considered. Yes.
I will tell you, when I played Black Myth, it was everything that I wanted it to be. I don't care what you say.
And more.
When I saw the trailers drop for that game, I said, there's no way this game is going to look this good or play this good.
Oh, it looks amazing. It looks amazing, and the combat is really good.
Do you got something against like Stories of the West or what?
No.
Okay. Or you got something against monkeys?
No, I actually don't think the game is bad. I don't have a personal vendetta.
I mean, how could you? You played it for 17 minutes.
I'm simply saying, when you stack it up against other games on OpenCritic and Metacritic, it does not compare.
So I guess the topic of next conversation is, how much should critic scores weight carry? How about that?
That's a great conversation topic.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
Okay, right, great. So, mark it down.
Mark it down. You just want us to mark everything down. All right. So my topic of the week is
apologize. My wife's home and my dogs are not happy that somebody's at the door. I apologize.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's all right. So this topic came up about it didn't come up between anybody, but it made me think of it because my girlfriend always talks about how there's certain movies she doesn't want to watch because they're too long, right? So she thinks that like the 3-hour mark or even 2.5 is pushing it. Are some movies just too long? And the second part of that statement is, should longer movies be split into miniseries? And also, like, are 3-hour epics better suited for streaming as episodic content? Like, one of the movies that I wanted to see, Flower of the Moon?
Killers of the Flower Moon. It's amazing.
Yeah. But it's so long and I haven't watched it yet.
Doesn't feel like it when you're watching it.
But movies like Oppenheimer, I don't think there could have been a way different than they could have done it with the runtime of that movie, stuff like that. I also think about with the way that they handled Infinity War and Endgame, like those being like 2 different movies, like that definitely couldn't have been one movie. But what's your all's thoughts? Are there some movies that could be too long? And if so, what do you think the solution is for it?
I mean, recently, Quentin Tarantino, he took The Hateful Eight, which I forget what its original runtime was. I think it was pushing 3 hours.
I'll look
But
it up.
he had so much content for that movie that was cut that he actually released a 4-part miniseries extended cut on Netflix.
Oh, really?
It ended up being like 8 hours long or something crazy. Like each episode was like an hour and a half or 2 hours. It was like ridiculous.
And I remember what they did. You remember what they did with the was it the Snyder cut of Justice League where there was like chapters and there was even like because it was like 4 hours long, wasn't it?
I got a lobotomy after that, seeing that, so I don't remember much about it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry.
You all right?
Apologies.
You all right there, buddy?
Jeez, mute the mic, man. No, I'm
So,
kidding.
I didn't even have time to reach for it.
So,
I mean, so my thing is, I'm going to say no. Like, are there movies that I would have been like, I wish they would have done this in a miniseries so I had more of it? Probably. But there's been, like, I can't even honestly think of a movie that I've sat down and been like, oh, this should have been shorter or this should have been a TV show. Like, the one that comes to mind for me for a long movie, whenever I think of it, is the Lord of the Rings extended editions. Like, I would not want a mini series of that because that's what I would consider a 3+ hour epic. And yes, the Lord of the Rings is split into 3 movies, which kind of has to be, or else you'd be in a theater for 12 and a half hours. But I wouldn't want any of those movies split up any further than what they already are.
yeah.
Because I think when you start having that conversation, my biggest complaint about The Hobbit is you go from a book the size of Lord of the Rings in 3 movies, which is fine. But then you have a book the size of The Hobbit that should have been probably at max 2 movies spread into 3. So,
Yeah. No, and I think you're right. I think the big thing is like it all depends on what the content of the movie is, whether or not it could feel too long or not. You know what I mean? For me. And I also think that like Marvel, I think, is better at doing long format movies as opposed to taking something and making it into shows. I feel like most shows Marvel has done has kind of been a miss for me, personally. Now I think there's been maybe 2 that I enjoyed thoroughly. But the other ones I could honestly take it or leave it. But I think at the end of the day, I think it all depends on the format. Well, not the format, but the actual topic of the movie or what it has to do with. Like, for instance, Jared, I know you love war movies. Have you ever seen The Big Red One?
I have seen the Big Red One.
That movie is 5 hours and 16 minutes long.
What's like another old war movie too is like Battle of the Bulge. It's like 4.5 hours long and actually has an intermission. Is that they kept in, like, anytime you ever watched it on TV or anything, they left the intermission in as it was in theaters. And
Yeah.
that movie is fantastic.
Yeah. And I think it's always like war movies, it seems like, are the long ones, like Gettysburg that came out in 93. That movie was 4 hours and 31 minutes. I know Napoleon, the new Napoleon movie, that one is, I think, well over 3 hours, which I didn't watch it. But yeah, like Return of the King, to your point, is 4 hours and 23 minutes long.
With that's the extended cut, correct?
Yeah, extended cut. Yeah, which I think I may have mentioned it before, but I had recently was part of a watch party for. We've done 1 and 2, but haven't done a 3rd one yet, and I'd never seen the extended editions, and I feel like that is the only way that I want to watch those movies.
There's
now.
so much more in the extended editions that makes everything make sense in those movies.
Yeah, and I think if the reason the movie is longer is to add important context or to make the experience better, it's worth it. But if it's filled mostly with filler and just fluff, then I'm not a fan of it.
I think I think I'm on the same page as you, because you can definitely tell when, like, if you go sit down in a theater to watch a movie, you can definitely tell when they just left stuff in just to increase runtime. And that's whenever I get to the point of like, this should have just been a shorter movie. Like, there's just a lot of filler. So
yeah. Anybody have anything else to add? If not, we'll go ahead and move on to Jared's topic, and then we'll get into mystery question of the week. Guess not. Go ahead, Jared.
So my question for you all, since we're kind of on the different, movies, TV shows, stuff like that. So my question for you all is, what game would you like to see adapted into a show or movie that probably hasn't been? And when I say that, I don't think like Secret Level where we're getting an anthology series of different games. I'm talking like full-length movie or full-length like season of a TV show or more. And then, after we talk about what you want to see, I want to hear what's your favorite video game adaptation you've seen so far, and what do you think the worst one is you've seen so far?
Okay. I know for me, I have a couple games. Justin, unless you want to go first.
You good?
Okay. So for me, I would love to see the Metro 2033 games be turned into a TV adaptation, not a movie, but a TV adaptation. I feel like what they did with Last of Us, I thought was pretty impressive. But if I think about the world and the story of Metro 2033, I feel like it could have a lot of similar vibes in the kind of like that post-apocalyptic world. I think that would be really cool. And I don't know necessarily if it would work as a movie, but I would like to see a Mass Effect like cinematic universe. I don't think it would work in TV. I think you probably have to do movies. Honestly, if they just did movies based off the first 3 video games, I think it would be awesome, personally. But and then the last one that I think would be cool, and I don't know, I think it would probably make more sense to have it be TV, but I would love like an Elder Scrolls TV show.
Oh, the vibes would be
Good
awful.
call.
You think so?
I mean, like in a good way. Like those games
Oh.
are just so full of dread and just like.
Oh, I know.
it would
But like
be-
I would like
Ugh.
like I would think about like if they had a TV show of like a version of Skyrim, I think
Yeah.
that would be awesome. You know
That
what I
would
mean?
be.
But those are the ones that I had. And what was the second part of your question, Jared? I won't answer it now, but I'll let Justin go. But you
So-
said like what's the best one? What's our favorite adaptation and what's the worst, right? Okay.
Correct.
All right, go ahead. Justin.
So I actually wish I would have gone first now because Mass Effect was my pick, and the good news is they are making a Mass Effect TV series at Amazon. So I'm
Amazon
very
is
much-
cooking right now.
yeah. I'm really excited for that.
I didn't know that. I had
Yeah,
no clue.
this is what has me worried though. The Fast and Furious 9 writer is behind it.
Oh,
I'm like,
brother.
I
Mm.
know.
But they-
like I don't
They
want.
think they went to space. They can write a like movie about space.
I just don't.
Don't worry, they're
I
only
don't-
going to make 37 Mass Effect movies now.
Is it because it's about family, you think?
I don't know, but Mass Effect. I would like to get a faithful adaptation for like Assassin's Creed. I think that would be kind of cool, a historical show with some murder. I also think that I had anything Zelda related, which is supposed to be getting a movie
Ooh.
for Zelda.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's going to happen, if it actually ever does. And then SOCOM, just bring SOCOM back any way, shape, or form you can. No, I'm kidding about that one. But yeah, those
Are
would be
you
the ones
though?
I'm most looking. Kinda. Those are the ones I'm most looking forward to.
Okay.
right. So
A
I've got
Black Ops show would be kind of cool. What's that for, Travis?
I don't know. I would like to see a adaptation of Bad Company. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be.
So that's actually what I was about to say was my 2 picks for what I would like to see adapted is, especially after playing Stalker 2, I think a Stalker TV show would be really good.
I don't know anything about Stalker. You guys will have to fill me in after because y'all were talking about it and I don't know anything about it.
Think if I had to describe the way that the gameplay is, just think a solo escape from Tarkov.
Are you playing through Chernobyl? Is that where you're at?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
But I think that would be a very good not post-apocalyptic, but kind of apocalyptic TV show kind of thing. And then Battlefield. So either Bad Company is a very good call, Travis. That actually wasn't where I was going to go with it, but I was going to say so. Think like Battlefield 1, how they had the the war stories was kind of how the campaign went for that. Just like different characters every episode. I think that would be really cool. It's like just the story of Battlefield kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think they had it. It was called Band of Brothers. No, I'm just kidding.
Band of Brothers was fantastic though.
All right. So for me, my favorite video game adaptation. Honestly, I thought this would be an easier. It's really hard for me to decide between Last of Us and Fallout because I actually really enjoyed Fallout personally.
Same boat, man. I would pick both, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, those in my opinion are equals. because they're so different. It's hard to compare them, but they're both very good in their own regard.
Fallout did an amazing. So like The Last of Us's world doesn't feel like, obviously it takes place like in an apocalypse. It's unrealistic, but it made it feel realistic and grounded like the game does. Fallout though made everything outlandish about that world come to life.
Yeah.
So I kind of think Fallout is probably the more impressive adaptation.
If I think I would have to pick Last of Us if I'm really splitting hairs. The biggest reason is if I'm thinking about Last of Us, there's not a character in that show I don't like. But if I think about Fallout, I do not like Maximus's character at all.
But you like Walton Goggins.
I love him. He's great.
He's the best, man.
But all I'm saying is I mean, Walter Goggins did great. Don't get me wrong. But if I think about Nick Offerman's performance in Last of Us,
yeah,
in that episode was so unexpected. I just don't know, man. It's so hard for me to decide, but I think I would have to go with Last of Us. But
I think as nerds,
Fallout
I think we're very fortunate right now.
Yeah, and I think Fallout for me did what I felt like was impossible. Because I'll be honest, I mean, I knew Walter Goggins was involved, but I thought there's no way this Walton. Sorry, did you see his just side thing? Did you see he has a new sunglass thing into their goggles?
Baby Billy's Bible bunkers.
Yeah, but anyways, they did what I thought was impossible. I thought there was no way this show was going to be good. Like honestly, but I was completely surprised. And then my least favorite. Now we talk. Can it be a movie that's a video game adaptation?
Yeah,
or is that
movie or TV show.
Probably the worst thing I've ever seen. It's probably easy for me to pick a Resident Evil movie, but it's not even that bad. I would have to say, have you all ever seen Monster Hunter?
Mm-mm.
There was a movie.
So Monster Hunter has the girl from the main girl from Resident Evil movies, and she was also the girl from Fifth Element. I can't remember her name. Mila
Djokovic.
Yeah, she's in it, and it is not great. And it also has Ron Perlman in it. It is just not good. It's just not a good movie. There's also some racial things in it. It's just not great. But anyways, that would be probably my least favorite. What about you, Jared?
So if I had to pick my favorite, I'm unfortunately, I know people say we agree too much on the show, but between Last of Us and Fallout, those are just the two that come in recent memory. But don't get me wrong, I really enjoy those movies, and they're definitely in the top 3. However, I did really enjoy the Mortal Kombat movie that came out a few years ago.
That was so unexpected. I liked everything about that movie except the main character.
I actually really liked that movie. I could have really thrown you off and just said Doom was my favorite adaptation.
Oh, God, that's pretty bad. I forgot about that movie.
That's actually my pick for worst.
Yeah, the BFG, baby.
The BFG, and then towards the end of the movie when you just get the POV first-person shooter gameplay at the end.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably should have said the Halo TV show is probably the worst. But season 2 I heard was better. I did not watch it.
Season 2 is definitely better. It's just it had so much opportunity and did not hit.
Yeah. I will say you're absolutely right. The Mortal Kombat movie was great. But what I will say is if they would have just taken the very beginning of that movie about the rival against the tribes, and that would have been the first movie about talking about how Scorpion and Sub-Zero became at odds with each other, and that would have been the first movie, and then they would have went into it, I would have been much happier about that because I thought their feud and that beginning scene was awesome.
Yeah.
But no, that's a surprising pick. I'm glad you picked that. I actually forgot about that movie, and I think they're supposedly working on another one. I think.
Oh,
because that guy. Did you ever watch the show Shogun?
I did watch Shogun. Shogun's fantastic.
Because that guy is the guy that plays Scorpion in the movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Justin, you didn't give us an answer for worst adaptation.
I didn't see it, but it just looked dumb, and that's the Gran Turismo movie. I could be totally wrong in saying that.
It's surprisingly really good.
Okay.
It's actually it's good.
And
I wouldn't have paid to go watch it, but watching it on Netflix, it was good.
I think even ratings I think are pretty good because it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a lot of video game adaptations unless it's something I care about. I haven't really watched it, so I may not have one. I will say though, and I don't mean to go off topic here. Have you guys seen the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle PC specs?
No.
No, is my computer gonna die?
Yeah, I have a 3080 and I'm not even at the recommended tier.
Oh, I have to.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to get a new graphics card because I
have
have
a
a 2080.
I have a
The
3070.
The minimum is they made this so small that I can't hang on.
You're
let
about
me-
to tell me
wanted to-
if you're about to tell me I have to have a 4090, I'm gonna riot.
The minimum this is without ray tracing. The minimum is a 2060, which I got that covered. But then the recommended is the 3080 Ti.
Oh my god.
The Ultra is a 4080, and then for full ray tracing, you have to have a 4070 for the minimum, 4080 for the recommended, 4090 for Ultra. Ugh,
Well, I was looking at Black Friday stuff to see if, but graphics cards did not go. All right, so to give you,
Well, graphics cards and like right now, graphics cards and the new release of the GPUs don't expect for price. Bitcoin right now is the problem with that.
yeah,
Without the price of Bitcoin going down, graphics cards are just $50 off to $100 off. Are probably going to be the best prices you're going to see.
Justin, I know you're about your ratings based on our
geez.
conversation today.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, Gran Turismo, 65%. Okay. Fans, 98%.
Dang, that's a huge discrepancy. I always wonder like what happens when it's
But
like
it's
that.
I've watched it twice. It's actually pretty good. But anyways,
I might watch it then.
I forgot we actually had already predetermined the mystery question of the week last week because you had actually picked we answered one and then you picked another number. So we actually already have one for because we're actually supposed to think about it, but you two boys have already forgot what it was.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
it.
Haven't you? So we're gonna have to think about this in real time once again. So this is the mystery question of the week, and the one that we pulled out last week, which you said 12 after you said 59, like an asshole, is, and as soon as I read this, you'll remember the question. It is, what's a pop culture event or moment you wish you could have witnessed in
man.
person? Yeah. Yeah, boys. I think for me, is there any limit, I guess, on this question?
I know
Where
mine.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Will I be my current age? Because I would be a baby. Or I wouldn't be a baby, but I'd be a small child.
No, I mean, you could view it as how you are now.
Nirvana's MTV Unplugged.
Wow. What a deep cut that was.
Yeah, one of the best concerts of all time.
Wow. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
For me, mine's also a music pick. I think that it would have been really cool. Well, I have two music picks. One was to be present, and this probably just makes me sound shitty because that could have been something more important than this, but is to be present during the first Woodstock. I
Yeah.
thought would have been really cool. That's where Jimi Hendrix played Star Spangled Banner and lit his guitar on fire. I thought that would have been really cool. And then the other one would have been when Queen performed at Live Aid.
I thought about that one too.
That would have been,
Yeah.
probably would have been my two. If it had to be historical, I would say if I could have been on the moon to witness the first moon landing, that would have been cool. But
You said, would you consider that pop culture though?
yeah, it's in
Would you?
history.
Well, pop culture and history, I feel like I separate those two, but
Do
I
you?
almost said the Oscars whenever Will Smith smacked Chris Rock in the face, but I changed
Mine is
it.
actually an Oscars answer, so
Is it?
mine will probably be whenever Moonlight got, or no, sorry, La La Land got announced as beating out Moonlight, and just being there involved for that debacle.
You just want to be there for the flub.
Just be there
just
for
wanna-
that.
You just want to watch the horror on Steve Harvey's face as he realized what he had just
Correct.
done.
Who's hosting the
Yeah.
Oscars this upcoming year? Did they announce it
Conan
yet?
O'Brien.
That's right. That'll
I-
probably be good.
Yeah.
Are we gonna? Hey,
I
let's
used to
live
be-
stream the Oscars too. Try to do that.
Can we wear
It's in March.
tuxes?
I'll wear a tuxedo T-shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
can we all get tuxedo T-shirts
That'd
and
be
we'll
better,
drink
yeah.
wine?
What
We'll
is
drink champagne.
what is it that they say
It's
in
a
Ricky
3-hour
Bobby?
show. If you're not first, you're last.
No, I wear a tuxedo T-shirt that way.
Oh yeah,
I like to imagine my baby Jesus in a tuxedo
Yeah.
T-shirt.
yeah.
I'm formal, but I still like to party too.
There it is.
All right. Well, anybody have any other pop culture memories you'd like to be a part of, or is that it?
I think that's it. Live Aid was a good one. I almost went with that
Live Aid
one.
is a very good one.
Yeah.
I did
The
think it was
selfish
kind of
part
weird.
of me.
Did think it was
Oh,
kind of
sorry.
weird that you said you wanted to be in a Hollywood studio during the moon landing. So
I will tell you. I will tell you.
joking. By the way,
The selfish part of me wishes I could go back and watch 2 movies in theaters for the first time when they were released. One being Back to the Future, and the second being Star Wars. Just seeing that and being in that day. But I would have to not know what I know now because I would go back and see. Well, I guess no, I can know what I know now because I'd be seeing all these people being blown away for the first time. Like, that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, recent memory. If I could go back and be in the theater the first day of either Endgame or Infinity War, that was an experience as well.
Oh,
Endgame
the scene where
was phenomenal.
where he messages in his ear and he's like on your left. Oh, dude, if I could just witness that all over again, that'd have been dope.
That was
Either
like a
that or
10 out of
when-
10 theater going experience.
That
When
and also
Thanos
when
gets hit by the hammer and
then you realize it's Cap. Oh yeah, dude. I don't think they will ever capture that again. Personally, it will be
That's a
hard.
bummer too to think about that. Like
I
it's
know.
probably over.
Yeah.
I know.
I can't even
Recent-
imagine the next movie that's going to get us that pump because like Star Wars has turned into what it is. Marvel is iffy. I mean, we're not going to get that jazzed about the Batman 2. I mean, not like that. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't
Batman
know.
2, I hope it's good, but I don't think it's going to be that level.
It's not like a woo kind of
Yeah.
movie. No, it's going to be
You know
like
what could
dark
do it
and
for me?
depressing.
If they ever did an Old Republic movie,
Oh, that would do it.
for me.
That would
Yeah.
do it.
That would do it for me.
That'd
All
be
right.
good.
Well, what are you boys looking ahead for? I know obviously we're not fully out of the holidays yet. Is there anything else you got coming up that you're looking ahead for? Or head? Yeah, head. Are you looking forward to?
Cutting his mic. No.
Yeah.
Travis, is that coffee in your cup? Oh, that's vodka in that water bottle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just drank some top of the morning. Go ahead.
So I wrote these notes earlier before I read the PC specs, but Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was something I was looking forward to. Now I'm worried about my
I figured
ability
you were
to play
just
it.
going to get it on console.
I don't have an Xbox.
It's coming. Is it not coming to PlayStation? I thought
Not till
they
April.
said that. Oh.
Yeah, and I have Game Pass. I'm not paying for that. But I also get more time off for the holidays here in a few weeks. I'm hoping we get a Switch 2 announcement soon and a new GTA 6 trailer. And over the weekend, the trailer for Dexter Young Blood, is that what it's called? The Dexter prequel. I don't remember what it's called now. Hang on. Original Sin. New Blood was the last show. Original Sin is the new one. They dropped a trailer for that, and
Because he's now the voice in his son's head, correct?
not his son, his younger self.
Oh,
This is a prequel show, Young Dexter. Did you watch New Blood, Travis?
Yeah, I did. I watched
All right.
all of it. Yeah.
You haven't though, right, Jared?
Correct.
Okay, no spoilers, but you remember how New Blood ends?
Yes.
The trailer for Original Sin shows you what happens after New Blood ends.
Interesting.
Because they're making a sequel show, and people were like,
Yeah.
huh. And then it shows
So it's actually a prequel.
Original Sin is a prequel to
Yeah.
everything. It's like
Yeah.
20-year-old Dexter just got out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
college. Christian
could be
Slater
good.
plays Harry
could be good.
Morgan. Pretty fun.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
pick.
It is, especially because he played Mr. Robot, which is kind of
Yeah.
like the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
And then you have Dexter. You have Original Sin, Dexter, New Blood, and then the new Dexter show that comes out in the summertime. So, which is a sequel to New Blood. So they explain.
I didn't
the
know they were
happenings.
doing two different ones.
They announced it at Comic-Con.
They're going all in.
The head of Showtime said that Dexter was their Batman. He's like their guy, like their character.
Well, I'm glad that what's his face is sticking around for it though.
I know. I would pay way more than I should to have the audiobooks narrated by him on Audible.
Ooh, yeah.
It's the author, but like I don't care. He has like the best voice. Like it's just so
I don't know why they
haunting.
haven't done that, honestly.
I don't know, but I would pay a ridiculous amount.
Off topic, but I do just want to say, if you like audiobooks, I know I was talking about Lord of the Rings earlier. If you haven't listened to the Andy Serkis narrated Lord of the Rings, it is fantastic.
But that's good, yeah.
Somebody will have to download that.
Yeah.
This is the way.
This is the way. All right, Jared. What about? Oh, you done? Oh, you got something else, Justin?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, biggest thing I'm looking forward to is setting my computer on fire after hearing what Indiana Jones is going to take to run. So that's definitely going to be a interesting experience to see what I'm able to do with that. I do want to play some more Stalker. If you haven't played it yet, it's really good. Travis, I definitely think you should give it a chance. At least sign up for your free trial of Game Pass, install it, and try it.
Okay.
Maybe some Sea of Thieves with Justin over here. He did get me to install Sea of Thieves, so depending on if our schedules line up, might take advantage from that. He might have to show me the ways. Something that's going to make Justin very happy is I finally bought Final Fantasy. It was on sale for 25% off, so hopefully get to play some of that some more, especially now that the worst week of mine and Travis's career field is now completed.
How much is 7 Remake? Do you know?
No, but I have Steam pulled up. I can find out
35.
for you.
We need to get that one too for you. You need to play it. It's
Gotcha.
Man.
And then last thing for me looking forward to is I think it'll be out by the time we record again, but the new COD Zombies map should come out for mid-season 1 launch this coming week. So
Are you playing Prop Hunt?
I haven't played it yet.
Love it.
Is it good?
Oh, it's so much fun.
Travis said he was going to install COD so he could play Prop Hunt.
I'll download it. I'll download it tonight.
Remember whenever he said that last week, Justin?
No, I'll download it.
Remembers.
You said you played 16? Yeah, I remember.
As you said,
17
we had a super
minutes,
busy week,
Justin.
And you're super surprised that I didn't download it. Come on now. Anyways, anything else, Jared?
That's it for me.
All right, so I just bought today. I bought Fableton on Steam, which is kind of like a build your own town type thing. Then I also bought a game called Long Winter. I think Justin is the one that sent me this game originally. This is a mixture of Animal Crossing meets Rust.
Oh yeah, when you said that earlier, I can't remember what it was, but yeah, you're right.
So you literally build your own town and everything. You can play multiplayer, you can craft and all that stuff, but then you can actually go raid other people. But it looks like it's in the style of Animal Crossing, and you have
from family sharing.
Oh, well, it's on sale for $12.99. So if you want to get it, but you can download. Oh, so you can't see mine at all, then, can you? Okay. Well, anyways, I plan on playing it. So, but yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to Christmas and the holidays. I'm really looking forward to going around looking at Christmas lights. I always find Christmas lights. I don't care how old you are. Just being able to walk around, look at Christmas lights is always the best. Justin, I imagine you love doing that with your kid. I imagine.
Yeah. We haven't been
Justin,
yet.
I know it's be an easier drive for you, Justin, than what it would be for Travis. But have you ever heard of Lights Under Louisville?
I've heard of it. I've never been.
I think that's what Maddie and I are going to try to do this year. So I'll let you know how it is.
Okay.
Yeah, or take him up to Charleston, up at the ball field up there. They do some
Dirty
crazy
Bird
stuff.
lights.
I heard they went all out. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks crazy up there. Anyways, outside of that, I'm also looking forward to Black Myth Wukong winning Game of the Year. Thought that was pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Justin's not amused. He's definitely not amused. But I'm looking forward to holiday schedules being over. Looking forward to Indiana Jones. Well, I was until Justin gave me the bad news about the specs. Looking forward to New Year's. And, I always find New Year's a season of change, So I'm looking forward to that. Outside of that, I think that is it. So, boys, it's time to get into our picks of the week. Justin, I'm curious what yours is because you don't have anything listed. So let's start with you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Get blindsided. That's a good one, as if it's something we don't ask every week. I
have
it.
2 of them. I'm gonna go with TCG
Black Myth?
Shop Simulator.
Okay.
And probably Shrinking.
Dude, I can't wait to watch tonight's episode. I'm glad you told me it was tonight.
Yep. And St.
Uh,
Denis Medical. That show's amazing. Did you
I
watch
still
the
haven't
newest
watched.
episode?
No, I'll watch it tonight too.
Best one yet.
As long as it doesn't have the main girl in it from the hospital, then I'll be good. The blonde,
What?
I can't.
Oh
The
my
girl that
god!
runs.
Yeah, she's in it. She's one of the main characters.
I know I'm not a big fan. Anyways,
Oh my god,
she's the Michael Scott, and she doesn't do a good job.
she does
Anyways,
a great job.
all right. So, Jared, what about you?
So pick of the week for me is I know we've all been talking a lot about TCG Card Simulator, but I'm actually going to pick a real TCG for my pick of the week. But the Magic the Gathering Foundations packs came out this week, and I managed to get my hands on 3 collector's boosters. Didn't pull
Get
a
'em from
single one.
work?
Yes, I did. Did not pull a single one of the cards that I wanted. But
I need
granted,
to go check those out.
the cards I want before we all get off here, I will pull up those cards and stream it because you will really like these art styles. But I've never pulled like a big card out of a pack.
Do you even play Magic?
Yeah, got a whole.
Oh, okay.
I've got 5 decks.
Oh, that's cute. All right. All right. What else? What else you got?
But I really want to be able to pull one of the Japanese art foil cards. But I'll show you what
Okay.
those look like before we get off here. Travis, you've mentioned Magic before. Justin, have you ever played or have any
should get on-
interest in playing?
We should get on Tabletop Simulator. And
That's what I was going to say. We should play on tabletop because then you don't have to pay for a deck. You just find what you want to play and then
Yeah.
input
it's
the
fun.
URL, and it's.
But it is also a slippery slope if you start buying cards in real life.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, very
Anyways,
very.
Yeah. Anything else, Jared?
That's it for me.
So for me, I switched mine around a couple times, but just based on what I've been doing recently with my gaming setup, have either of you used a service called Moonlight? I may have mentioned this on the podcast a while back, but have
Like
either
a
of you
streaming thing, right?
Yeah. So all you do is you install and set it up on your PC. And then Moonlight is an app you can put anywhere. You can put it on your Apple TV, iPad, Mac, wherever. And it allows you to stream your games from your PC while it's running to another part of the house. So, for instance, I've been playing Dragon Age, and I've also been playing Trading Card Simulator. But there's times where nobody's online. I don't want to just sit here at my desk. So what I'll do is I actually have the Moonlight app on my Apple TV. I boot it up. It opens up in Steam Big Picture mode. I have a controller connected directly to my Apple TV, and I'm able to stream Dragon Age, whatever I want to play on my PC. I can play a controller. I'm playing on my 77-inch OLED in the living room, just chilling on my couch.
Subtle flex, but okay.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, that's not the point of it. It's better than playing on this 49-inch OLED that we all have.
Subtle flex, but okay.
But anyways, no, I'm just saying, like, you know what it's like if you're playing on a PC and you're talking to people in Discord, it's great. But like if you're, oh, thanks for that. But like if you're playing a single player game and you're just chilling at your desk, nobody's around, sometimes you just want to do it on the couch. You know what I mean? You just want to be a little bit more comfortable. So I hate everything about this.
I mean, like, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong either, because I mean, there's definitely been times, especially with single player games, it's like I hate this so much.
I hate when he just randomly does this in the middle of a recording. It irks me so bad.
There are definitely times when I would just like to sit in the living room and
and it's really good. Like I just a tip though for anybody that has ultra wide monitor.
Just a tip.
Yeah, just a tip. You want to set the resolution of your computer to be the resolution of your TV if you're going to do it. Because if not, when you go to stream your computer, you'll just have an ultra wide display on your TV. So just as long as you do that, every game will launch native, and you can change the resolution inside the game to match your TV. Everything's great. But like I'm able to play Dragon Age pretty much on high settings, streaming 60 frames a second from my PC to my TV through my Apple TV. I mean, it's great. And also, like if you have, it'll even work outside of the house. So if you have like a backbone or a controller for your phone and you want to play some of your PC games while you're just chilling somewhere, you can do that as well. It's pretty neat. And it's free. That's the big thing. It's free. It costs you nothing. So, and it's also a great way just to remote into your computer. If you leave your computer on all the time and you just want to pull something up and check something on your PC or start downloading that game in Steam or whatever, you can just use it as remote software if you want to do that. And my favorite feature about it is if you just pull up your desktop and you're not playing games, your Apple TV remote will work as your mouse, and you can just move your mouse around and click on stuff on your PC. So it's pretty cool.
I just want to say, speaking about remoting into your PC, flashback to when you and I worked at the same location, Travis, and trying to play New World. And 3 hours before we would leave from our shifts, we would have to remote into our PCs and join the queue.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah, dude, yeah, I
And
forgot
then you
about
would,
that. Those,
then if you, the worst part was, Justin, I'm not sure if you went through all that trouble, but when you got home, if you had done it too early and your queue popped, you got kicked for being inactive and
Yeah.
then had to rejoin the queue again.
you
Or if you did it
you had
too
to hit that
late,
sweet spot.
yeah, if you did it
Yeah.
too late, you got home, you're still in queue behind 800 other people.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, does anybody have anything else to add before we close out?
Pump a nickel.
No? Pump a nickel. Well, everyone, we want to thank you for listening to episode 163 of Nerds with Mics. We would just appreciate that you like, review, share us with your friends. Please start leaving us comments. I would love to start interacting with people. I feel like ever since we went away from live format, we don't get the same interaction. Maybe that's a tell that we need to go live again. I'm not sure. But until next time. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Nerds with Mics. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into all things nerdy, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please make sure not to forget to leave us a review wherever you listen or watch. Your feedback always helps us grow. And if you know a fellow nerd that would love the show, share it with them. Until next time, stay nerdy, stay awesome, and keep those mics on.
I think it's still recording, isn't it? Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. At least
It's
we're
our
all
first
here.
time doing this.